Welcome back, fellow newshounds. I'm Gruftikins, and here I try to bring you some of the news you may not see on your standard news networks. Today, North Korea says Australia has committed a suicidal act by backing the US. A second destroyer put out of action leaves a hole in critical missile defence. And could the US solar eclipse signal the beginning of the end? The Prime Minister of Australia, Malcolm Turnbull, recently announced that if there was an attack on US forces by North Korea, then Australian troops will be sent to help. This follows recent joint exercises between Australia and the US, as well as Australia joining South Korea and the US for the large-scale exercise on the Korean Peninsula that has just kicked off. Other nations are also taking part, including a contingent from the United Kingdom. Mr. Turnbull said that, in terms of defence, we are joined at the hip. The Australian Defence Minister, Marise Payne, said that their participation in the war games should not be seen as a provocative move, and that they had taken part in a small way in these annual exercises since 2010. Obviously, Kim Jong-un and North Korea view things very differently, and have issued their usual threatening rhetoric, saying that this is a suicidal act of inviting disaster, as it is an illustration of political immaturity, unaware of the seriousness of the current situation. Australia followed the US to the Korean War, the Vietnamese War and the war on terrorism, but heavy loss of lives and assets were all that it got in return. Obviously, this is not a surprising statement from the hermit regime. However, with the tensions in the region at an all-time high, there are serious concerns and statements from other countries regarding the situation. South Korea's top general said that the situation with North Korea was more serious than at any other time, and said that any attack by the North would be met with merciless retaliation. And China have said that if any actions jeopardise Chinese interests, then China will react with a firm hand. As the Allied exercise gets underway, then everyone is watching North Korea very closely. Particularly since last time it took place, Kim Jong-un took the opportunity to conduct a massive show of force with a nuclear test. On top of this, a second US guided missile destroyer in the region has seriously weakened the missile defence network that was employed to intercept North Korean missiles. The USS John S.McCain collided with a tanker in the Straits of Malacca on its way to Singapore. Tragically, 10 sailors are missing, and an intense search and rescue operation has been put into effect, but many are questioning how this could happen twice in just 2 months. Over the last 2 years, there have reportedly been 4 collisions involving US naval vessels. However, for this to happen to 2 warships from the same destroyer squadron in such a short time is highly unusual, to say the least. The USS Fitzgerald collided with a container ship on June the 17th, resulting in the loss of 7 sailors. Both warships are based on Yokosuka, and both are part of the 7th Fleet. They also happen to both be Arleigh Burke class destroyers, equipped with the Aegis missile defence system. This system is essential for intercepting attacks on the US, as it tracks ballistic missiles and sends targeting data to ground-based interceptors in both Alaska and California. They are also equipped with their own missile defences for tackling short-range ballistic missiles and intermediate-range ballistic missiles, as well as state-of-the-art anti-submarine warfare equipment. Each destroyer is a formidable piece of hardware, and the loss of these assets in the Korean theatre will leave a noticeable hole in the defences. It has been speculated that the crews are being tasked to do too much, and may be fatigued, although no one has said that is the cause of these incidents. What is a fact is that this has caused widespread concern. So much so that the US Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson, has actually called a worldwide operational pause of its entire fleet. Whether this will affect the large-scale exercise that has only just begun on the Korean Peninsula, we will have to wait and see. The reports and investigations into these incidents will of course not be known to the public for some time. And finally, I am sure many of you will be aware of the total solar eclipse passing over the United States. In fact, some of you may even have witnessed this fascinating phenomenon, something that happens regularly throughout the world. Indeed, I was lucky enough to witness it myself when a full solar eclipse passed over southern Britain in 1999. However, this particular eclipse has sparked interest in areas other than astronomy, with many saying it signifies the beginning of the end of times. A conspiracy theorist named David Mead wrote a book about his theory and quoted Bible verses that he says are related to this particular event, and bizarrely to the number 33. He states that 33 is central as the so-called black moon occurs every 33 months. The eclipse will start in Oregon, which is the 33rd state in the US, and it will end on the 33rd degree of Charleston in South Carolina. The last eclipse was in 1918, which is 99 years ago, and if you divide that by 3, it equals 33. And finally, that the world will end 33 days after the eclipse as it is hit by a hidden planet. I personally am not going to worry about this, although I could always be wrong, but there are real and tangible problems going on in the world, and if it does happen, there is nothing we can do about it anyway. I just thought it might interest some of you. And I would love to hear your comments below. Anyway, I will try to keep you informed about events in the world's hotspots, so hit that subscribe button for further updates. And don't forget, the world is watching, so please be kind to each other.